Welcome to Tech Learners. In today's lesson, we will talk about string handling in Java. It is one of the very important topic and you have to learn it very carefully and with deep heart because you will be using string handling later in all Java projects. So just to handle strings, here we have three classes. Character class, but character class is capable of holding a single character data. The other two types are string class and string buffer class. There is another string builder class, but in these lectures we will be discussing only string and string buffer classes. We will be discussing string builder in my upcoming videos. So these two classes, string and string buffer, can also be considered as composite data types or reference data types. String class can hold multiple characters. So this is a string. String basically is the combination of multiple characters. The one property of the string that once string is initialized, its contents cannot be changed. That means string is immutable in nature. What is immutable? That means it cannot behave like a mutant. What is mutant? That changes its nature. So the string once initiated, its contents cannot be changed. That means string is immutable. The alternative for this is string buffer class. In a string buffer class, again like similar to the string, it can hold multiple characters similar to string, but its contents can be changed later. So that means this is mutable. That means it behaves like a mutant. We will dealing these two classes in very much detail in my upcoming videos. One specially dedicated for the string and other specially dedicated for the string buffer classes and their methods. In today's video, we will be discussing how we can declare these two, string and string buffers, and how we can use them. So to declare a string, we have three methods, we have three ways. We can directly declare a string with the help of the string class as a data type, as a variable. So we can simply make a variable s1 and can assign the values in double quotes. Yes, the string value is enclosed within double quotes. So later we can change this value, but remember, if we change the value of this later, then there will be a new object created for that particular string. Now let's say the other way. In the other way, we can create the object of the string class. So that can be created with the help of a new operator. So we can take string s2 is equal to new, and this will be the constructor of the string class. The third way is similar in the way that we can create the object using parameterized constructor of the string class. So we can do string s3 is equal to new. This is the constructor, and inside this constructor we can pass the initial value of that string. So these are the three ways we can create and initialize our string. Like a data type, s1 is equal to tech learners, by using the object and non-parameterized constructor, we can assign the value later here, or with the help of a parameterized constructor. Now let's see how we can declare string buffer. String buffer can also be declared in three ways. All the three ways are with the help of the object creation. So one is we will be using string buffer class. This is the object name sb1. This can be anything. With the help of the new keyword and with the help of the non-parameterized constructor, this sb1 is created, and we can change the value of this sb1 later with the help of a value, a literal enclosed with the double quotes. So this is the first way. In the second way, we can use the parameterized constructor. So with the help of this parameterized constructor, we can pass the initial value of the string buffer, and then we can create the string buffer object. In the third way, we can create a string buffer of capacity. So here this is an integer value that is passed into the constructor that specifies the capacity of this string buffer. So these are the three ways in which we can declare a string buffer. So let's see with the help of the Java program how we can actually implement these strings, how we can actually declare these strings. So let's see, this is simple class. Inside the class I have created a main function. So this is the first way we can create a string s1, and we can directly assign the value to this s1, and then we can print this string s1. There is one important method inside the string class, that is length of the string. So we can call the length function with the help of this s1 object, s1.length. This will give us the length of the string. So what will be the length? Number of characters. So let's count what are the number of characters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So what will be the length of this string? That will be 12. So let me compile and show you the output of these two string and its length. So now this is, yes, you can see string is tech learners and the length is 12. Now let's go further and declare the string with the help of the second method. So this is the second method with the help of the object creation, and then we can change or we can assign the value with the help of these double quotes. So in this way we will be using non-parameterized constructor, and we will be printing, we can simply print the string with the help of the variable, and we can get the length of this string also. So let me compile and show you this second way of declaring a string. So you can see this is the second way string. The value of that was by Neil Saxena. The length is 16. Remember, it includes all characters, even spaces, special characters, numbers, alphabets, everything it includes. So the length of this string is 16. So let's talk about the third way. The third way is again little bit similar to the second one, that we'll create the object, but now we'll be using a parameterized constructor. So in the parameter we have passed the value. So in this way we can create the string. In the same way we can print the string and we can get the length of the string. So let me compile and execute this to show you the third output. So this is the string tech learners, and again length is 12. So in these three ways we can create the string. Now let's talk about how we can create the string buffer. So the first way of creating this string buffer is with the help of the object creation and non-parameterized constructor. So if you are not aware about the object creation and constructors, so you can watch my videos that are specifically based for objects and classes and constructors. So this is the SB1 we have created. Now to assign the value to this SB1 object, we will be using a function append. So this append function will be used to append the value or the literal to this string buffer. So once we have created this string buffer, it will create this string buffer with empty value. Now to that empty value we will need to append some more literals. So this is how we can assign the value to SB1 dot append, and then in the parameter we will pass the value. Similarly we can print the string buffer like we have printed any other variable. We can get the length of this string buffer, and there is another important function that we use with the string buffer is the capacity. The difference between the length and capacity lies in that the length will give us the character count, that is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this has 8 characters, so length should be 8, and the capacity will give us how many maximum characters this string buffer object can hold. So let's compile and see the output of this string buffer creation. So right, this is string buffer. We can see the value is tech sb1, the length is 8, but the capacity is 16. So 16 is the maximum number of characters this sb1 can hold. So this is the difference between here in string and string buffer, and basically the difference between the length and capacity function. We will be dealing with more differences and more methods of handling this string and a string buffer in upcoming videos. So now this is the next method of creating the string buffer. We can use the parameterized constructor, and in the last method we can use this again a parameterized constructor with the integer value that specify the capacity of this string buffer. So let me compile and show you the output of last two string buffer creations. So this is you can see the string buffer. Tech learners, this was the second method of creating a string buffer, and this is the third way where the length is 0 but capacity is 10, because we have initiated that with the parameterized constructor having 10 as the parameter. So the main important thing with these two classes is mutable and immutable thing. So string is immutable, that means every time we assign a value there is new object created, which is not the case of string buffer. So let me show you with one simple code that if we use let's say a for loop like for int I is equal to, let's say 100. Okay, sorry, this is I is equal to 100. I is equal to, let me begin I with 0 and I is less than 100, then I plus plus, and if we want something like, we have used here a string, let's say s2. So if we are writing here s2 and we are giving some other value, let's say anything, tech Java. So this loop is, it looks very simple, but what is the disadvantage of this loop using string here, that every time whenever you will enter into the loop you are changing the value. Let's say if I add on some more into this I, so that means every time you are changing the value and changing the literal, so every time a new object is created. So in this case 100 objects of S2 type will be created, so this will take a lot of memory, so this is not a good idea. And if we replace this with the help of the string buffer, with the help of the let's say sb3, then it will always use the same object. So this is the major difference between a string and string buffer. I hope you have understood the most fundamental and basic concepts behind string and string buffer. In the upcoming videos we will be dealing with string methods, string buffer methods, and more examples that are based on string handling. Thank you so much. Subscribe the channel, like the video, and hit the bell icon so you can get the update of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much.